So, you want to learn how to interpret your dreams and interpret them properly. What I'm going to do today is give you the keys that you're going to need to be able to, well, I'll put it this way, every time correctly interpret your dreams. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a reoccurring dream that's been happening to me and how I was finally able to interpret it. It's really some pretty easy keys. Once you understand the process of how to interpret and what your dreams are, it's actually quite easy. Now, here's the hardest part. The first thing that you have to do is to take all of those dream interpretation books and all of those websites that give you dream interpretation symbolism and throw them in the garbage because they are useless. Your subconscious, or your higher self, however you want to term it, is going to speak to you directly. So, the symbolism that you're going to find in a book is a symbolism, well, some of them are universal, but it doesn't matter. Remember, your dreams are personalized for you. So it's what that particular element within a dream means to you. So, here's one of the basics. There's really three basics that we're going to look at. Of course, they do overlap a bit, but you can almost always put your dreams into three different categories. The first category is just a regular dream. They're excitements and pleasures. You are dreaming of a situation, often something that you want. It has no meaning whatsoever. It doesn't have any more meaning than going to a club and dancing with a guy or a girl. There's no real meaning to it unless, of course, it develops into a romance, but that's not the point. It's an excitement and pleasure dream. It doesn't really affect you and your life. The only thing these dreams tell you is what dramas that your subconscious wants to live at that particular point in time. So, it's a great insight into what's going on, or what it is that you're wanting. Some people would refer to it as what karmatic forces are at play. Hidden wants, hidden dreams, hidden desires. They're coming out within that dream. Again, it's handy, but not really a lot towards educating you as to the nature of reality and the nature of the mind. Now, the second level of dreams is what I call educational. This is where your subconscious, higher self, whatever you want to term it, it doesn't matter. You pick whatever term applies to you. I like to use the term my higher self, or my mind itself, wants me to understand or wants me to learn about so I can improve it or I can change it, or perhaps even a warning of something that may occur, which could be detrimental to my psyche. If you're engaged in the great work, the spiritual path, self-mastery, path to enlightenment, again, however you want to term it, these dreams can be crucial towards seeing personality aspects within yourself that is holding you back from growth, that are keeping you, or keeping your awareness from expanding, keeping you from looking through the illusions that you've already created within your own mind. Remember, the process of alchemy, the process of internal change, occurs by seeing past illusions that we have accepted. These are the dreams that you want to interpret. And I'm going to give you the keys, the laws that govern these dreams, which will help you to see what it is. In most dreams, as in life, our personality traits, our traits, or the things that affect us personally, are so close to us we cannot see it. It's like having a pencil right next to your eye. You know something is there, you know you need to move it out of the way, but you can't see it exactly for what it is. Dreams give you a different perspective. Since you're not in your body and you're in your dream body, you're able to look at it with a little bit more detachment than you would within your physical body. Again, you're looking at it from a different perspective. The third form of dream are what I like to consider encounter dreams. This is where you are encountering a being, the best way to put it is more advanced than you. I hate to say higher because everything's relative, but they're more advanced than you, and generally they're going to give you a message. And those dreams pretty much mean exactly what you see, or exactly what you're showing. So I'm not going to really cover that one today. I will do that in another video. What I'm really going to focus on is how to interpret the second type of dream. the subconscious message dream or the higher self message dream. That one is really important, and that one's a little bit more difficult to interpret, and that's the one that you need the keys for. So, how do you know if you're having the second time a dream? The message dream. How do you know that it's a message dream? First off, you're probably going to be very uncomfortable in the dream because you're looking at an aspect of your psyche that you really don't want to look at. In other words, you want to keep the illusion that you have. We don't like to change our illusions. People say that they want change, but they really, really don't. What they want is to be able to predict. They want things to remain the same. So they can plan out their future. They can calculate things out. You'll also have a feeling of, there's a message here. You'll feel it. You'll know it. And it's different than a regular dream where you're trying to find a message. With a message dream, you don't have to try to find it. You automatically feel it. As a matter of fact, it's easier to remember when you wake up. It has a greater impact on you. Now, I personally don't worry about a dream until I have it twice. And this is something I want you all to understand. If it is a message dream, you will continue to have that dream until you get the message. So even if you don't understand it or you don't interpret it the first time, don't stress out and go, oh my God, I'm missing a message. I could grow with this. Don't worry about it, because you will have another if it's a message dream and not just a standard regular dream. Something else to understand. If you don't get the message of the first dream, the second dream that you have will still have the same elements of it, but will be presented to you in a different way. So again, you can look at the problem from a different perspective. That's the great advantage of doing dream work. Now, I recently had a message dream, and I'm going to relate that to you, and then I'm going to go show you how I interpreted it, or how I was able to understand it and break it down. So, I had a dream. The first dream was, I was lying in bed, and I lifted up the covers, and there was another person in the covers with me. Which I was like, what the heck? What is somebody doing under my covers? And then an aroma of poop just hit me. And I could just smell it really, really strong, which is unusual. I usually don't smell in dreams. And I actually don't think anybody really smells often in dreams. I remember I woke up at that point. Generally speaking, also in a message dream, after the dream is done, it'll have enough of an impact on you to where it wakes you up. That's another indicator that it could be a message dream. Well, I didn't worry about it, because I'm not afraid that I'm going to miss out on an opportunity. I've done this enough to where I know I'm going to have another dream if it's important. And even last night, it happened. I had another dream. This time, I was walking through a room. The dream was more elaborate than that, but you don't want to get distracted by all the other elements. You want to focus in on the areas that are the same. So, in this dream, I looked over to the couch, and I knew something was there. I couldn't see it at first. And I focused in, and I really looked, and I could see a body underneath covers again. Notice, covers, a person. I lifted up the covers, and I could see that there was a person under. And again, I got assaulted by the most horrendous smell of poop you have ever had in your life. I mean, we're talking horrendous. And I remember I looked down at my feet, and I saw that they were covered in poop. We're talking literally heavily covered. After that, I went into the shower, and I remember washing off the poop. And that was the important part. There was another aspect of the shower becoming clogged, which I'll go into, but I want to give you the main part of this and how I broke it down. So now you got the gist of it. Now I know that it is a message dream because I've had two that are extremely similar, coming from a little bit of a different direction. So I know that I now have to interpret it. So the first step in interpreting it is I took a look at my life. Message dreams are going to reflect what's happening in your physical life. So what has concerned you? Where has your focus been? Where has your intent been? What has been the biggest concern that you have, or the biggest problem that you want to solve? You want to look at it that way. You've got to tie it into the physical, or you're never going to be able to accurately interpret the dream. The two are tied together. So I looked at what's been my focus in the last week, because these dreams happened about 3 or 4 days apart, which is common in a message dream. Several weeks ago, I had what's called, again, an encounter dream, where an entity told me that they are keeping you, his exact words were, they keep keeping you from remembering. And I knew, of course, I've had enough encounter dreams that I knew it was an encounter dream. So I've been really focused on what it is that I'm not remembering. Of course, I don't know what it is because I can't remember. So that's where my focus and my intent has been. So this is telling me that that dream is going to give me a key or a message to be able to understand, or what I need to take a look at in my life to where I can figure out, or I can understand what's happening in my physical life. Now, try saying that 10 times real quick. I know it sounds confusing, but guys, it's the way it is. So I now have the key to unlock the message. Not the dream itself, but to unlock the message of what is trying to be conveyed to me. The next part I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the dream itself, and I'm going to simplify it as much as possible. It's easy to get lost within our own calculating. It's easy to get lost in taking a look at too minute of a detail. It's a matter of not seeing the details because, or not, you know the saying, not being able to see the tree because of the forest. I'm going to focus in on the important part of the dream. And I'm going to take a look at what was the same in both dreams. In both dreams, I had a cover, I had a person under the cover, and I had the smell of poop. That's the common denominator between the three. Now I'm going to take that dream and I'm going to try to put it into as simple of sentences and as short of a paragraph as possible. The shorter the better. I lifted covers, I discovered a person, and there was shit there, is basically what the dream is saying. Now, how do I interpret that? Okay, both undercover. Undercover. Covered. There is some shit in my personality, something that's vile, that I have within myself in my relationship with other people that I've covered up. It's something that I can't remember, or something that I can't see. You see? You simplify it. If your dream is longer, break it into sections, especially if it has more sections. Break them into sections, simplify it, try to put it into a sentence as short as possible. It gets rid of all of the extra stuff that's just not necessary within a dream. Now, the second part I want to break down, because I've kind of figured it out. There's some shit that's being covered up. Really, think about it. I mean, it fits perfectly. And it probably has, again, I have to tie it in to my previous dream that they keep keeping me from remembering. Covered up. See? It's really quite easy. Just have to have an open mind and simplify it. So now I'm going to break down the second part. The second part is this. I looked down and I saw a huge mound of poop on my foot. Almost like I stepped in poop. So, I'm going to break this down. Oh, and let me go ahead and give you the other part. I went into the shower and I tried to wash it off. I recalled I couldn't get it all off, but I got the majority. So, let's translate that. There was stepped-in poop on my foot, and most of it could be washed off. What does this tell me? It tells me that it's something that I stepped into not on purposely. So, it's not going to be something that's my fault. This is going to help me in contemplating my personal life and what it is I'm trying to remember, which again, I can't remember what it is I'm trying to remember because they keep keeping me from remembering. So I'm pretty sure that I figured out this dream. I understand what the message is that they're trying to tell me. And I'm not going to be concerned if I have it wrong. Do you know why? If you don't have it right, you're going to have another dream, which is going to show you again from a different perspective. It's going to have the same qualities pretty much, maybe with a few variations, And it's going to show you again what it is that you're trying to learn, or what it is your higher self, subconscious, generally it's something personal to you or your own mind is wanting you to see. So I'm not going to worry about it. What I'm going to do is I've got the key. I know what it is that I'm trying to do in my physical life, and it's going to make it easier now for me to interpret the next dream. And I'll start putting all of the dreams together until I finally have the realization that my mind wants me to have. Now, I'm going to do more of these because there are variations. I just want to give you guys in this video, without it becoming too long, the basic keys that you want to do. The basic keys again. You have to figure out what is the biggest concern or what is bothering you the most in your physical life. Simplify the dream. Get rid of the unessentials because they're there. Get rid of those and break it down into as simple of a dream as possible. Do not be concerned if you can't figure it out right away. You may have to contemplate it, but you'll get a eureka moment. You'll get an epiphany. You'll get a feeling of, yes, okay, that's it. Personally, I think that there's more to this dream. I think I'm going to have more of them to give me more details to where I can have that epiphany, because I haven't had the epiphany yet, but I think I'm going to have it. Guys, make sure to put your questions in comments. I'm really good about responding. Again, if you look through comments, you'll see that I generally answer pretty much all of them. Make sure to subscribe. I'm John Masters.